Alright besties, buckle up, because today's story is not your regular true crime tea. We're talking about Samuel Little, the man who confessed to 93 murders. Yeah, 93. That's not a serial killer, that's a whole multiplayer lobby of victims. So grab your snacks, secure your sanity, and get ready to wonder how this man was roaming around like it was a side quest in his life. Let's get into the chaos. Samuel Little was born in 1940, and let me tell you, his life story started rough and never got cute again. Dude grew up bouncing through different homes, dropping out of school early, and basically speedrunning every bad decision possible. While normal people in their teens are like, I want to be a singer or a football player, this man said, nah, I'm going to choose crime as my full-time hobby. And trust me, he stuck to it way too seriously. He moved non-stop, different towns, different states, always drifting, barely staying long enough for anyone to ask, Sir, do you pay rent? That constant moving made him basically invisible. He blended in, stayed low profile, and flew under every radar we had. And that invisibility, it became his shield. Samuel Little wasn't caught for murder at first. Nope. He was arrested at a homeless shelter on a minor charge, and authorities were like, cool, routine stuff. But then, plot twist, they checked his DNA. And suddenly, 3 old cold case murders lit up like the world's worst Christmas tree. Boom. He became the prime suspect. He goes to trial, gets convicted. But then, the real nightmare begins. While sitting in prison, he starts confessing. Not to 1 murder. Not to 5. 93. When investigators heard that number, they probably needed a group hug and therapy. But the scary part? His confessions were super detailed. Locations, dates, descriptions, memories. He remembered faces from decades ago, like he had a photographic memory of evil. Authorities spent years comparing his stories to cold cases across the country, and as of now, over 50 have been confirmed. That officially makes him the most prolific serial killer in American history. And the wild part is, he acted like he was telling stories from a scrapbook. Just casually unpacking crimes like, oh yeah, that one. And that one. Sir, what? Here's the heartbreaking part. Most of his victims were women who were alone, struggling, or isolated. He targeted people who society often didn't pay attention to. And that's what allowed him to keep going for so long. His method? Strangulation. No weapons that left obvious marks. No loud scenes. Nothing that would make neighbors say, hey, something's wrong. A lot of deaths got misclassified, accidents, unknown causes, unexplained tragedies. Many victims remained unidentified. Their stories never got heard until his confessions decades later. The saddest part is, he chose people he thought wouldn't be missed. He counted on society, ignoring them. And that right there is the real horror. Let's break it down like a true crime detective TikTok. 1. He moved constantly. Like a villain on a cross-country road trip. No pattern, no routine, no ties. 2. His victims were vulnerable and not tracked closely. Because of that, disappearances often didn't trigger fast investigations. 3. His method left almost no forensic evidence. No dramatic crime scenes, no loud violence, just vanished lives. 4. The era didn't have the tech we have now. DNA databases? Connected police systems? Nah. Back then, you could commit a crime in 1 state and police 2 towns over wouldn't even know your name. It created the perfect storm. 1 man who knew how to slip through every crack in the system. Once he was behind bars and investigators started asking questions, everything spilled out. He confessed for hours. Days. He even sketched drawings of the victims, portraits from memory, trying to help identify them. Many families finally got answers they'd been waiting for decades. He died in 2020 serving multiple life sentences, but investigators are still connecting the dots from his confessions to unsolved cases. His story is closed, but the victim stories are still being uncovered even now. It's not about the killer. It's about who he targeted, people society failed to protect. It's about how easy it was for someone to disappear in a world that wasn't watching. It's about how a system with gaps allowed a monster to move freely. But it's also about how investigators, years later, refused to give up and started bringing truth to families who never stop hoping. This story reminds us, everyone deserves to be seen. Everyone deserves justice. Every life matters, no matter where they came from or what they struggled with. Phew, that was heavy. Samuel Little isn't scary because he was some movie villain. He's scary because he was real, a living reminder of how much society needs to do better at protecting everybody. If you watch till the end, you're built different. Drop a like for the victims, not the villain. And as always, stay safe, stay aware, and don't trust people who give off weird vibes. Peace.